Hello guys, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Just to follow on from yesterday's video, really guys, I did quite an in-depth video yesterday detailing what my thoughts on this chart. I'll pop a link to it at the end of the video, so if you look at the end of the video, I'll pop a link to this video if you're interested in looking at that yesterday. This is just to follow on from my thoughts yesterday, really guys. Just gonna have a look at the Gaussian channel. Haven't had a look at this for a while. We can see in the group, obviously we were watching this because we were bouncing along on the top, and clearly, the forecast for the end of the cycle was between these two dates here in terms of the 4-year cycle, and obviously, we were expecting or we were hoping for, the prices to be up somewhere, between the 180 and 310 region, looking at the fractal here. But obviously that didn't happen. We didn't get, we didn't get that. Well, we certainly haven't had it yet. And obviously things have now changed to a bearish structure. You can see we're on the moving averages. There is the bull market support band, and you've obviously got the Gaussian channel, and you can see that we've come down to the bottom of the Gaussian channel, and we are holding that as support. I wouldn't get too the hopes up too much on that though, guys. I mean, we didn't hold it as support here, and we didn't hold it as support here. But if we look back to the prior cycle, we did hold it as support, and then we did we still we did actually come back down. So I mean, just to give you an idea, guys, if we're looking at the breakdown, the size of the breakdown, you've got 55% from the breakdown there, from the point of breakdown to the low, and you've got 45% there. Let's have a look at this one. So break from the channel, let's say from there, looking at 53%. So you're looking at an average of around about 50% mark. So if that was to happen, what would that be from where we are now? Where would that take us? I'm just going to turn the magnet off so I can get the bottom of the channel there. If we had a 50% move, it would take us down to around about the 45,000 mark. But as I said yesterday in this video, guys, I think that 50 to 55 is likely where we'll be. And if you look at where this rising support is, that's that's held all the way back to sort of 2019, you can see that actually 55,000. So you've got 50 to 55,000 is actually somewhere around where the support is. So it would be, it would make sense that we come down and find the support there, and you can see that obviously it would have confluence with this area of interest here. So you've got the high and low range here, and that would be confluent with that. So I think that's where we'll probably end up. And just have a look at this is obviously the super guppy here. So this is something which I posted in the VIP group. And obviously, just to explain what we're looking at, guys, I'm sure that most of you have realised, but once the super guppy turns grey there, which it has done here back in December. Okay, so back in December it turned grey. So if we look back in time, once it goes from green to grey, you then got 84 days, and then you get a big sell-off. Same here, it goes from grey, 84 days. This cycle here actually took a little bit longer, as you can see, but nonetheless, the sell-off did come. But I've marked this 84 days on there because you can see that although this one was a little bit longer before we got the sell-off, the 84-day mark on here is almost exactly where we got the sell-off here. Okay, so again, green goes to grey, green goes to grey, green turns to grey, 84 days, almost exactly you get the sell-off there. So it's amazing how how the cycles are so similar to each other. And here we are again. We've got the grey turning back in December, and if we add 84 days onto that, obviously this isn't necessarily going to be exacting, but it is interesting to see that it gives us a good indication of where we may be looking. So like towards the end of February, this is actually suggesting that that's when we get to the 84-day mark. If anything, might be a little bit longer. If not, then we could be expecting that this sort of collapse from the support towards the back end of February. So really, guys, that's it. I just wanted to show you those three things. Really, I'll link the chart. The yesterday's video was longer, so obviously big explanation about what my thoughts are here. Obviously looking at the Gaussian channel, just going back through time to see what our thoughts are there, and and the super guppy. There's just one other thing that that I would like to show you guys. If we look at this chart here, something which I noticed after the video. If I just show you the total chart, you can see on the total chart that we can get rid of these these drawings on here because they're not really any relevance. All I wanted to show you, if we look at a fresh, clean chart, which is always good to do that, guys. If you're starting to get too many drawings, for example, I'll give you an example, where you're getting too many drawings on one chart, you can see, like this is the chart that I use daily. This is the one that I trade with mostly. If you start to get charts that look like this, they can become quite confusing. So I just start with a normal chart, and what you can see is that the red line there is the 50 EMA, and you can see that we are below that, and we're trying to sort of tackle it. But I just thought it was interesting. This is the total chart, bear in mind, guys, not the Bitcoin chart. Okay, and I just thought this was really interesting. If we look, you know, if you start to draw a support line from you know, from here, I mean, you know, have we actually broken down yet? You know, have we broken down on the total? No, you know, arguably we haven't. If we move to the bottom of the candle bodies, just as a, you know, secondary check, have we broken down yet on the total? You know, you can see there's a nice test of it there. You know, it's arguable that on the total chart that we haven't actually broken down yet, meaning that the cycle, you know, could possibly go on. I mean, if we look at, you know, you've got low, higher low, and this is a higher low. You know, so you've got clear structure here. You've got a low, you've got a high, you've got a higher low, you've got a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You know, are we going to get another higher high? You know, are we still in this cycle? Looking at this chart, you would argue that yes, we are. We are still in, you know, still in a bull market, and things are still going to carry on. And bear in mind, as I've always said, that the total chart is the one that trumps everything. You know, this is much more significant than the Bitcoin chart, although obviously a lot of the market cap, you know, up to sort of 60% of the market of the volume in this total is actually in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does collapse, then that's, you know, a measure of 60% of the value of what we're looking at here. So that is something to bear in mind. Anyway, guys, I hope that's hope. Please protect yourself, guys. You know, it's all very well, you know, popping out, you know, producing content on this sort of hopium, but that's all it is, really, guys. You know, be very careful, protect yourselves, particularly if you see us come back down and start to test the bottoms of this range again. We were looking for that. You know, we could see quite clearly. You know, in the past, what we've seen is, you know, and then obviously a collapse there. So, you know, I'll just show you back here. You know, you got a very similar thing where you got the W, even broke above and then came back down, and then you got the collapse. So, you know, we may see something like that. I still think we probably will. In actual fact, I think we probably will get something like this. We'll either come up here and come back down, okay, and then we'll sort of find some support on the 50, and then, you know, then you'll get the big collapse once everybody's sort of super bullish on there, or what you'll get is something like this where, you know, it comes along, comes back down, comes back up, retests, and then we go off, and you know, we carry on upwards. I think that latter part is probably less likely, but again, guys, you know, no one really knows what's going to happen in crypto or any market, so just bear that in mind. Everybody's got their own opinion, and all that TA does is it allows you to identify possibilities and probabilities of a statistical mathematical outcome. Okay, nothing's guaranteed. So protect yourselves accordingly, guys. Thank you for being part of the group. Bear in mind, I've got the VIP Telegram group. If you're interested in coming and joining, please join the public group. Public group is free, and links to that are all in the description below as usual. Thanks, guys. Take care. All the best. See you soon.